All right.
Yeah, so today we'll be doing few min-max problems related to the game theory. So there are series of stone game problems. So few of the problems I'll be picking today and then gradually we'll take on next week and so on and so forth. Right? So I think let's start, right? So our first problem is, for the stone game, the first problem starts from here and then there are around 8 to 10 problems in this. So gradually we'll see. So what the problem says, Alex and Lee play a game with pile of stones and there are even number of piles arranged in a row. And each pile has a positive integer number of stones, which is denoted by the array piles of 5. Now the objective of the game is to end with most stones, right? The total number of stones is odd, so I mean to make sure that there is no tie. And Alex and Lee take turns with Alex starting first, and each turn a player takes the entire pile of stones from either the beginning or the end of the row. And this continues until there are no more piles left. At which point the person who is having the most stones wins the match. So, and both of the players are playing here optimally. So you have to return true if and only if Alex wins the game. So, like here you can see, right? Either Alex can pick from what do you say, even index, or he can pick from the odd index, right? I mean, because from either of the end he has to pick. Let's say he decided to pick from the first five, right? Then what will happen? 3, 4, 5 will go for the next call, isn't it? For the what is the other player? Lee. And again, let's say if Lee decided to take 3, then 4 and 5 will go for LX. And if LX picks 5, then 4 will go for the other one, Lee.
Lee.
That means Lee, right? Yeah. So overall, like what do you say? LX won the game, right? By garnering 10 points. I mean, collecting 2 stones.
Mhm.
So let's write the recursive equation first here. What it will be? Let's say from LX side, if I want to write. So there are two cases, right? If he picks the first one, then what will happen? The remaining stones, like from 1 till n minus 1, if n minus 1 is the, what do you say, the end point of the array, then this will be one point. And why I'm doing minus? Because the opponent will again try to score this much, right? Here you have to find whether LX wins or not. So whatever points your opponent gives you, that you have to subtract from your whatever you have taken. Makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Or he could pick from last, right? That is one more choice. This will be, if he picks from last, then for the other player it will go up to 0 to n minus 2, right?
Mm.
And max of these two you have to take for the LX. This is for the LX. So I think I'll draw the other way. And this one, so this window screen is coming. It just was it. I think I lost the connection. So, share screen. Yeah. So if I draw the tree, how it will be like? Let's say I and j is the index, right? So first stage I'm taking that LX is playing. So if LX is playing, then if he picks this stone, then for the remaining, what will happen? It will go from 1 to j minus 1, or you can say, let's take j. 1 to j will go for the next player. And if he picks the last stone, n minus 1, then the remaining stones will be what? From 0 to n minus 2 for the other player, right? Now this will again further break. Now the term for the next player will come, which is Lee. Again, Lee has two choices, right? Either he can pick the 0th stone, then remaining what will happen? It will go from 2 to J, right? Or the other is like what? If he picks the last stone, then you can find 1 to J minus 1. This makes sense, right? This tree. And here again, maximum of these two you take, and whatever will be the maximum, that score you have to return to the top. If you draw further, you'll find that these things keep on repeating, I mean, the indexes. So that gives you the intuition of what you say using the DP.
Mhm.
This is clear or any confusion here? Okay. So I'll show you the equations. So these are the two choices I'm taking. So if you pick the, first stone, zeroth stone, then what will happen? For the next call, from left +1 to the end, that will be passed for the Lee, right? And if you pick the last stone, then what will happen? From the left to right -1, this will go for your, uh, what do you say, for the
Mhm.
other. And whosoever maximum of these two you have to select. That because we are forming this table from the Alex perspective. We have to make it. So maximum of these two left and right calls you take and update your table. And if it's normal DP, temperatized DP, if it is already, this state is already present in your DP, then you return from here itself. And if you have a single stone, both left and right are equal, you just return that. Bye.
Sorry, why do you use minus? Why not a plus?
Because see, you have, they are telling that by how many points the Alex wins the game, right? So when you play, you will play your best, right? So when opponent plays, you have to subtract his score. Then only you'll come to know whether you are losing or gaining, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yes.
if two players are playing the game, you have a score of 10, the other have a score of 5. So how will you find the difference will only give you that whether you are winning or losing the match. The opponent's score will be subtracted in yours.
But if
Yeah.
you add also, it should be fine, eh? Isn't it? Or no? I'm just thinking loud.
And but how will you differentiate who is winning? By adding, will it be possible?
Oh, then in that case, yeah, the equation on line 22 will have to change, or maybe the return value will have to change, right? Okay.
Might be, yeah, that might be a possibility. But this looks a bit more intuitive because opponent's score will be subtracted from mine, right? Because
Right.
so this is the first. So any queries here in this? And if you find like whatever value you get for this, if it is greater than 0, then he wins the match. Alex wins the match. That means you got some positive value, right? After doing all this. Had it been a negative one, then the other player would have won.
Hmm.
So any queries?
So this was the bottom-up approach you used, right?
This is top down.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Match
yeah.
4 game is helper function.
Bottom up, I don't have. Some,
No, that's fine. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah, then we can switch to next or anyone. Any queries or any approach you want to share, anyone? Anything?
Well, there was one thing I think we solved last time. Means when I had solved this, and I was using a bit. It was a bit more of an implementation, not like yours is not very clean the way it is. But I was adding the piles, instead of subtracting.
Oh,
Yeah. So maybe I can just share it if you. Okay, let me open the number also. Can you quickly tell me what is the number? This one?
just wait for a second. It's 877.
877. Okay. Maybe it's not the best implementation,
No, but it's
but
good
it is,
using plus like how to go.
yeah,
That
because
would.
I think Nick said right.
Mhm.
So there is one way, but it is more implementation, and therefore it's not very intuitive. At least the way I've implemented.
Yeah.
Go through it, yeah. Okay, so let's share it. Okay, so in this case, okay, I'll just focus on this implementation. Right. So what I'm doing first is, this is the actual function and this is the implementation. Okay, just ignore the others. So initially I'm actually finding what is a half sum. So I add all of these values of the piles and I calculate half sum. So here itself I'm doing first O of n operation. Then this is a normal memoization I'm using for two dimension, one for Alex and maybe one for Lee. And then I use this helper function. Okay, and then run from 0 to n minus 1 and I get the sum at the end.
Oh,
When I
whosoever
get the sum, yeah, whosoever wins, yeah, he will return the sum. I think only Alex will return the sum actually here.
here only Alex will be.
Yeah, and if Alex sum is greater than the half sum, then he wins.
Excellent. Yeah, this is also good.
Yeah, so then I come here, but if you, the implementation, why I'm saying it's very not so good, because if you see, leaving apart the base case, which is very common, when I come to the first sum, means when I'm saying that I pick on the piles of I first, right? So when I'm picking from the I side, so it is sure that Lee will pick either I plus 1 or J minus 1. So I take whatever is from here of whatever the Lee's one. So I need to take a minimum of that, right? And if Lee takes something from I plus 1, so yeah, if Lee takes something from I plus 1, then whatever is the minimum from I plus 2 to J, okay, so both of these, whatever will be the minimum, and if I add that to the piles I, same thing if I do, if I pick J, Alex picks J, in that case, Lee will pick something from J minus 1 or I minus 1, so that will be one minimum. Or if Lee picks something from, I think, J minus 1 side, then whatever is remaining from I to J minus 1, that minimum, if I take this minimum of both of them, because that will be the choice what I will have, right? And I add to my J and then take whatever is the maximum of both of these, then I return.
Exactly.
So if you see, yeah, if you see, there are 4 helper calls, right? So therefore, I said it is not a very neat
No,
implementation.
this is also intuitive, right? I mean, you are first calculating the half sum and checking up. I mean, whosoever gets more than the half sum, he is the winner. And secondly, those calls are like for the Lee, and if we select the first and if we select the last one, right?
Yeah, you can say that, but the time complexity wise is also not so good. Yeah,
N square only, yeah.
that way, no, that is fine. It will be n square also, but if you lead code way, it will take more time.
Taking, yeah.
So yeah, so this is one way what I did at the time, but yeah, that's not the best way to do it. So you could surely avoid at least the 2 helper function calls, right? Either from here or here somewhere. Yeah.
That's why minus comes in that case.
Right. Right. Yeah. Maybe that might be one way of doing it. Correct. Yeah. So therefore, that is much better.
Yeah. Then let's move to next.
Oh,
Anyone wants? Yeah, go ahead.
no, word. Yeah.
Yes, method.
Yeah, this is another problem, right? So what they're telling, Alice and Bob continue their games with pile of stones, and there are several stones arranged in a row, and each stone has an associated value, which is an integer given in the array stone value. Now both Alice and Bob takes the turns, while Alice starting first, and on each of the player's turn, the player can take either 1 stone, 2 stone, or 3 stone from the first remaining stones in the row. Now the score for each player is the sum of the values of the stones taken, and initially the score of each of the player is 0. And now the objective of the game is to end with the highest score, and the winner is the player with the highest score. And there could be a tie also in this case. And game will continue till all the stones have been taken. And you have to assume that both of them are playing optimally, and you need to return Alice if Alice wins, or Bob. I mean, if Bob will win, or tie if the game ends with the same score. So this is what you say. This is the piles of stones that is given to you. Now, actually, what do you say? The score here is even, right? I mean, let's say first 3 stones Alice picks and last Bob picks, then it's a tie only, right? Isn't it? Because whosoever comes, he can.
No, that's not tie. That is 6 and that is 7.
Oh, this is
Mm,
5 plus 1, 6.
6
Okay.
and 7, yeah.
I thought it's 7.
Okay.
3, 2, 5, 1, 6. And here again, this is what do you say? If Alice chooses all the piles, right? And then Bob will have only negative. Oh yeah, stones can be negative also, this value. In earlier question, we didn't had any negative. So here Bob will, what do you say? Alice will win the match.
Mhm.
And there are choices also which Bob can. The game starts with Alice only, right? Alice, or while Alice starting the first year. That's why he'll win. Otherwise, Bob would have taken this. These again exhaustive will do here, right? I mean, all the possibilities. What I'm saying, like if we have what is it, 1, 2, 3, 7. So if he picks first stone, I mean Alice picks first stone, then for the remaining call 2, 3, and 7 will be sent, right? Let's say Alice picks these 2 stones, then one branch will be like 3 for him, and remaining will go for the 3 and 7 will go for the next his opponent. If he picks all these 3 stones, then 3 to 5 plus 1, 6, 6 minus, I mean, this 7 will go for the next player, and if he picks 7, then it's an empty, right?
Mhm.
Then again, you can break here. If his opponent picks 2, then for the next call, 3 and 7 will go. Now, if you pick these 2 stones, whosoever turns is, so this will be 5, and you are for the opponent player 7 is left. And if he picks everything in the sense 3 to 5, 5 plus 7, 12, then nothing will go for the what do you say? The next player, right?
Mhm.
So, and this will be what? So from here, this will be what? If you pick 7, then remaining empty will be there. Now from each of the calls, like we'll have to draw furthermore. I don't have space. So from each one of them, we'll take the max. Let's say he returned a score of X and he returned a score of Y. So whosoever is max, that will put the max here, because both of them are playing optimally, right? Everybody will try to reduce other score.
That's right.
And again, you got some score you got, let's say from this part, you got some score as Z, then some score you got, let's say X again, and something like here from Y. So again, out of these 3, Z, X, and Y, whatever the maximum, that score will go for the top level. And you can see the repeating problems here, right? Like 3, 7 here is there. Here is also 3, 7. Then empty list is empty only. 7 is here, and anywhere 7 or 7 is here also. And if you draw further, I think you might get few more. So it's almost based on the same pattern, right? Only there it was like you can pick from only one stone, either from start or end, right? Here they are telling whosoever starts, he can pick 1 stone, 2 stone, 3 stone, or X number of stones, right?
Yeah.
Or any queries in this?
So
And we can
it will always be you pick the 1 stone, 1 plus 2 stone, or 1 plus 2 plus 3 stone, right? Like that, right?
Yeah, or 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 7.
No, but
And
so every time you have a chance of picking 1 stone, 2 stone, or 3 stones.
yeah.
And then for the next turn, it will be different, right?
The set will change, yes. For him, right? Because the number of stones will be left only 2, 3, and 7. So again, he picks 2, then this is the score. And if he picks 3, 2, 5, then 7 will go for the next.
Okay.
I think it's fine, right? I'll show you the reconciliation and then the DP part. Yeah, this is like I'm just calling a DFS function. You can say DP, DFS, anything. And this is a memo which I'm creating, right? So here, this is if the start itself is greater than the length of the stone value, then you'll return 0. It's one of the base case. And if it's already present in your memo table, then you return from there itself. Otherwise, what we do, oh, they have mentioned only 3, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, sorry, like I made the 4th branch also, so that you don't need, I think. So yeah, what you can do, you will go from whatever the length of a stone till start plus 3, right? For every player. I mean, you can pick 1, 2, or 3, and you get that value into your score. And now check, like which I was saying, like this one, what I was saying. I mean, we used to go to each of the branch and pick the maximum and return the value. So this part is being done at this point. The store, I mean, whatever score you have stored earlier in your DP array, and this is the opponent score. Out of these, whosoever is maximum, that will propagate to the top value, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just this normal, you return memo of start, and at last just you check it. Whosoever score is greater than 0, you return. I mean, if a score is 0, then there is a tie. If a score is greater than 0, Alice wins, else Bob wins.
Okay, so you are doing almost the same implementation what you did previously.
Exactly. Only
yeah.
like 1 to 3 is there. I mean, only 1 to 3 is there. Minimum I'm taking, because let's say the stone left is 1 in your array, and this becomes something like 4. So you'll have to pick this one only, because only 1 stone is left, right? Like for the last case, only 7. So you'll pick this one. Whosoever is minimum, you'll pick that. That's all.
Yeah, so the minimum is just for deciding the index on line 15, isn't
Exactly.
it? Okay. So maybe if it's only 3 remaining, 2 remaining for the very last case. So based on that, you will be just deciding the i's value, or else everything is the inside one, whatever on line 17 was the same implementation as the previous one.
Previous one. It's a repetition of that one.
But here we are not, we don't have any way to pick from the left or right. It's only from one side, right?
Side, yeah. So whichever side you pick, you on it will listen about with Alice starting on each player, the player can take from the first, yeah. On each,
From
yeah,
the
first,
right? Only first.
you are picking from back, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we have only this condition, right? Otherwise, we would have 2 reconciliation, one for the front and for the back.
So you're always picking from the left side, not from the right side.
Exactly.
Okay. So therefore, your DFS function has only I plus 1 always.
True. Yeah, this one. For the next call, right? And it will go till 3 stones you have picked. I mean, either 1, 2, or 3.
And then you are subtracting that from your main score, and that is the reason if it is 0, you say Alice wins, or if they are 0, it should be tie. Yeah, sorry, it is tie.
Greater than 0 is your
yeah, Alice. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think so any queries should be there. It's a repetitive, right? If we get the first one, then we can get this. Yeah.
Well, these are not easy to get, at least.
Exactly, these are true. I mean, I'm saying repetitive structure is there.
Yes. Some way we can at least come to the top-down approach. That is slightly intuitive, but bottom up will be more difficult to come on. Yeah.
Someone have bottom up, can share it. I mean, definitely. I mean, that will be a bit. I think ahead you have to diagonal wise you'll have to move, right? Because ahead value you need to.
No, I don't know, but I was just thinking loud. So, but for this 3-1, I think it will be more complex. At least for the previous one, it might be possible, but not about this third game. I don't know.
Yeah, most of the implementation I've seen is top down only for this.
Yeah, most of them are like that only. Correct.
Even coming up with this is like, won't that be that easy? Yeah, then next one, shall we move? Or anyone, any queries, anything, or want to share any solution idea, anything, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I can share mine.
Sure, go ahead.
So in the previous one, I've done it like this, right? You have left and right, 2 choices. So if you take left, then you add this to your score, and the opponent's score you have to minus from total score, because his score is against yours. If you take right, opponent gets only left to right -1. Whichever is greater, return that. And at the end, if the total score, okay, my score is positive and opponent is negative. If it's greater than 0, I have won. This is the previous one, Stone Game 1.
Yeah.
Same logic can be applied in Stone Game 2.
Mhm.
So you pass this left boundary, right boundary is always length -1. Just listed the cases so it's easy to understand. First case is pick one element from left. So you pick one, remaining is left +1. And again minus because it's the opponent. So this is the opponent's score will be removed from my score. Then left, can I pick two elements from left? If there are two elements to pick, so null pointer doesn't happen for this. Add both of them to my score minus opponent's score. If I can pick three elements from left +1, left +2, again take all this and minus the opponent's score. That's it. Take the max of all this and return.
Yeah, this is very easy also. Okay. Both of them are, yeah. Mhm. And Johan, if you look at the first one, I think Shashank also knows about this, right? So the first one, every time Alex is going to win, isn't it? Whatever the test case may be.
This
So
one.
yeah, if you just return true also, it will pass all the test cases from the lead code.
Oh, okay.
And that is the reason whatever the way you implement, your time is not going to be much better than the lead
Alright.
code. Yeah, because if you just return true in this Stone game, don't check
Oh,
anything.
the 877, it is always true.
Yeah, if it will always be true.
Always return true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funny game.
So that is something.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
so,
never knew this.
yeah, but we always have to check it. But that won't be a good way to, because if you
Yeah,
are able to
true.
explain that, it might be fine. But the way we are doing, it should be the way we should do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Even this one has a maths, or this is the mini maths?
No, I don't think so. This has a maths only. This is correct.
So min-max is also a DP thing?
I think so, unless someone has.
Well, yeah, basically we are enumerating all the possible combinations, but there are overlapping subproblems. That's why DP. L +1 and then R -1 results in the same state. And this is do I win? It tells if current player wins. But sometimes it's easy to pass a flag also.
But
So DP is nothing but pruning here. That's what it means.
Yeah, just not recomputing the same overlapping subproblem. That's all.
either
because
it may
maybe
be
L
DP
plus-
or math, right? Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. From 3,6, we may go to 4,6, 4,6, and then 4,5. Same time from 3,6, we may go to 3,5 and then 4,5. So not to
But,
recompute 4.
But pruning is actually done when, I mean, at least in min-max, what I understood is when we know that when we go to this path, we may not achieve the solution.
No,
because
Minimax has to go through all the DFS paths, I think. Because if all the paths allow me to win, or if I can force the opponent to lose, then only I can win.
no, certain paths you can prune, right? Because of the known results that, okay, we already have known that, okay, this is the maximum value. So if we go to this,
Okay.
part
If
of the
it's a
path,
true false kind of thing, and this left is returning true, then we can short circuit with true.
we already know that we cannot do more than that, then we prune that path, right? That's
Right,
min-max, right?
Right. But in this one, it is integers. So if left is like 134, this may be even a bigger number. So we still have to check it.
Okay.
So you are saying it might be greedy, Balaji?
No, this is simple DFS DP. I don't think, I feel like this is,
Oh, because
even
I've
though it
put
is
minus
called
to
game,
minimax. Yeah.
it might not be minimax. That's what
Right,
I'm
right.
Oh,
because
okay,
there's a
okay.
minus.
Mhm. Yeah, the way it is done here also, correct, it doesn't apply.
Yeah, this maximum negative number is actually a minimum. So it's becoming a min only inside the max kind of.
So if we try to implement the min-max way, the time complexity might increase.
I think it would decrease also, because then inside this only we put the next case and we get the result for our next turn, skipping the opponent's turn, right?
Mhm.
Take minimum choice for opponent and then again call the function. But here me and opponent are doing the same thing. So I can call the same function, give opponent negative score and give myself positive score.
Mm. Yeah, this is good.
But if we have something like scores, I think min-max pruning would be applied, right? Otherwise, DFS DP is the
Right.
Yeah, good to know that. Yeah. Yeah, Shashank. Hey, Shashank, we are not able to hear you. Are you talking? You was not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible now.
Okay, okay. I had some issue. No problem.
There are 8 problems on the stone.
True. Yeah. 8 problems. So we thought 3 every week, 3 we can do.
Okay.
Or you have any other we can discuss today also, no problem. So this stone game too. So here like Alice and Bob continue their games with pile of stones, and there are number of piles arranged in a row, and each pile has a positive integer number of stones, which is denoted by piles of array. The objective of the game is to end with more stones. Now here only, okay, Alice and Bob takes the turn while Alice starting the first, and so only difference is strategy of picking the stones is changing in every question, right? Like in first problem, it was like you can pick either from beginning to end, either from beginning or from end. Third problem, it was like you can pick a continuous of 1, 2, 3, and here they have given you like, let's say, what do you say? This you have to follow. Whosoever the first player is, he can pick between 1 to 2m, where initially m is your 1. So let's say if m is 1, so for the first player it will be like 1 to 2. Between 1 to 2 stones he can pick. And for the next then for the next player, what you say, we'll first follow this rule, and then we'll check which is the maximum of this, m or x. Whosoever is maximum, stones will be picked in that manner, right? I'll show you that. Let's say if you the game continues and you are supposed to, what do you say, until the game continues until all the stones have been taken, and assuming both Alice and Bob play optimally, you have to return the maximum number of stones Alice can get. So what I was saying, I'm saying, let's say x was initially 4, right? So what will happen? Player A will see what do you say, your this to this, right? So you will have 1 to 8 choices, right? Next time, let's say B, you got 4, but 4, or let's say he has a choice between 1 and 4, right? And he picks like 6 stones. 6 stone the A picks, then whatever the maximum of 4 and 6 is, that stone will be picked by the opponent player, right? Is this clear? Because
Well,
this
this is slightly not clear when it says about x, so what x is like? It's twice
your
of the previous number.
X is the number of stones he picks.
stones you can, yeah.
Okay. And then you are going to pick which is lesser than or equal to 2m.
Yeah.
And
So
then
let's
what
say
is
first time he picks 4 stones, right? X is 4. So he's
M is 2, so X is 4. max is 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, in this case, what is M? How do we take this M?
And they have taken initially defined M as 1.
Okay, and so you are saying if you go ahead, so M will be 2, and then X can be 4.
1 to
1
1
to
to, yeah,
Okay, M keeps on increasing.
exactly, yeah.
But the first time 2m is 2, right?
First time 1 to 2 stones you have to pick.
And then the next time m would be max of m or x. So 1 or what the person picked, right?
Earlier, yes.
Yeah, so max the person can pick 2. So max of 1 and 2 is 2.
So the next person will be picking 2 stones.
Can pick 2 to 4.
Now, third round you are saying, right?
So first,
round.
Alice will have maximum. At the first turn, he can take 2 stones at max.
And that is
If he
because
takes
M is 1
one,
and X is equal to 2. Is it
yeah,
that?
if he takes 1, Bob can at max take 2 stones. If he takes 2, Bob can at max takes 4 stones.
Yeah, if he takes 2, A takes 2, I mean, he has choices from 1 to 2, right? If he takes
Okay.
2, then Bob choices will be what? X 1 to 2 twos are 4. Between 1 to 4, Bob has choices, right? Now it depends what he's taking. Let's say if he picks 2,
Sorry, why 1 to 4 here?
this rule you have to follow for every player.
Oh, x is always
the
starting
initial
from
player
1.
is
Okay,
Alice.
got it.
Yeah.
So initially Alice will always have 1 to 2, and then
Yes.
Bob can have 1 to 4. Okay.
Depending on what Alice picks. If he picks 1, then it will again go 1 to 2.
Right. So based on that, it will decide the M for Bob, right?
Next
Yeah.
call, yeah.
Yeah. If Alice stays 2, then it will be from 2 to 8, 4, 2 to 8, right? In that case.
Yeah, if you are saying Bob, come again.
So if Alice either has chance, which will be 1 or 2. If he picks 1, it will be 1 to 4 for Bob. But if he picks 2, Alice picks 2, then what will be
No.
Bob's choice?
No, if Alice picks 1, Santosh, then the next time also will have 1 to 2.
Yes, for the
Right?
Bob. If he picks 2, then it will be 1 to 4.
M is 1 and X is 1. So max of M comma X is 1 only. So M will be 1 again. Yeah, like that.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's again same thing. You will what do you say? Whatever array indices is given, right? Like let's same way. How many choices are there? Which all 1, 2, 7, 9, 4, 4. Thing is same. We'll be subtracting it, but only choice is the strategy will change of choosing it, right? Let's say A had choices 1 and 2, right? Either he can pick 1 stone, or you on each player the player can take all the stones in the first X. So if he takes 1 stone, then it will be what? 2, and remaining will go 2, 9, 4, 4. Right? And if he picks 2 stones, that means the score what Alice got is 9, right? And for the remaining, it will go 9, 4, 4. And again, depending on whatever Alice has picked, we'll again go for the Bob's. What do you say? Bob's choice of picking the stones, right?
Yeah.
So
It's the same.
this 27944 is the number of stones in the pile every time.
No, every
Yes.
time
This
it
is
will
M. Okay, how much
Each
they are
index
picking.
says the
Okay.
number of stones in that. So if the range is there, I think he can take simultaneous polls. I mean, if Alice has to take 4, right? He can take 2 from one and then the remaining 2 from the next index, right?
next, yeah, remaining 2. If he
Let's
has
say,
to,
let's say Alice has a choice of taking 4 stones. So first pile has only 2 stones, right?
oh yeah,
Then he can take the remaining 2 from the second index, right?
No,
Is
it's
it
like weight of a stone. It's not the number of stones, I think.
No, each pile has a positive number of stones, piles of 1, piles of I. That's what it says, right? Problem.
Each place
On the top line.
okay, let me drag it. Add a different intuition then. Alice and Morgan, there are a number of piles arranged in a row. Each pile has a positive integer. The objective is where we are saying.
Yeah, so there are number of piles arranged in a row, and each pile has a positive integer number of stones. So piles of I means piles of 0 contains 2 stones. So piles of 1 contains 7 stones.
7 stones, yeah. Okay.
So if
I was-
someone has to pick 4 stones, you can take 2 from first pile and then the remaining. Is it like that?
Yeah, it should be like that only. If Alice takes 1 pile at the beginning, Bob takes 2 piles, then Alice takes 2 piles again.
Okay, so then you have to pick up from each pile the number of stones. Is that what you are saying, Balaji?
Right, yeah. Each pile, the number of stones at max you can take. And if has something remaining, I can go next pile and take that remaining, I guess.
Interesting.
I think he has to take entire pile. It's not like a partial pile.
Yep,
Yeah, that
yep.
is what I was also
Is
thinking
it?
like it.
Okay.
He is taking
Yeah, he has
piles
to
of
take
stones.
entire pile.
He is taking stones, right? Not piles, no?
No, but those stones are in the piles only, right? So
So
he has to
assuming
take that
Alice
entire
and
pile.
Bob play optimally, return the maximum number of stones Alice can get.
I think if you go to
If
third
Alice
pair of question, there it is clear.
Yeah, even if you see in this example one explanation, first it takes 2, 4, 4. So the 2 is from the first and 4, 4 are from the back 2 piles, right? And if you go below further in the explanation, it talks about in the last statement. In this case, Alice can get 2 plus 7. Okay, so you're again picking. Oh, okay. So then how that
completely,
happens? 2 plus 7 is fine.
that
Is
means 2
9
piles.
piles. Yeah, but you already Alice has picked up 2 in that case, the previous one, no? Okay, that's slightly confusing.
If Alice takes 1 pile at the beginning and Bob takes 2 piles.
Hmm.
I think that
So-
equation
so it's
that we
one
were
pile.
reading, that we were
Mhm.
reading for M and X, it's for the piles. It's not for the number of stones.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that is what it was, no, for the earlier ones also.
Earlier ones, it was like we used to pick, I mean, we used to pick the entire thing, right? If
Mhm.
either one stone means this complete
On
value
each player's turn, that player can take all stones in the first X remaining piles. Okay.
Yeah. Or else it will be very complex, I think, if we pick up one
Right.
stone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good point, right? I mean, I also noticed it.
No,
now.
I also got confused. You're absolutely right.
Each positive
Yeah,
integer.
thanks
returns
for clarifying. Yeah. Mhm.
That's a good thing. Let me see what the solution is. I'm doing the same thing here, right?
Okay.
No, I'm taking it completely, right? I mean, this is just the strategy that I'm picking. How what do you say? First, I'm going from the back, right? From the back of the array and creating the prefix array. Prefix array of all the, what is the summation of all these piles.
Okay, so you're creating the whole prefix array.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Prefix array, and now this is like I'm checking if I into 2m that is greater than n. That means in that case you return that particular pile, right? Because you can't. This would be the last condition. Like you have consumed all the stones, and while evaluating this equation, you went out of the array while evaluating this one.
Mhm.
So you will have to stop. I mean, if you get such a, if you consider have such a case, then you pick that ith stone there itself, because there is no point in proceeding further. You won't be, you'll fall short of stones, right? And if you have already computed the value, then you take it from the their array itself. And this is like going from 1 to 2m plus 1, right? The same way, like 2 stones, if I take, I'll take 2 and then 2 plus 7, 9, that way, right? If that is the case, then whichever stones you have picked and the remaining stones that you are passing for the next player. See, okay, so for next player, why it will be I plus X? Because if it is 2, 7, if you have picked these 2 stones, right? So next player's call will start from this I plus X. I mean, X stones if you have picked. So his coordinate will start, if this is I, then it will start from I plus X till the remaining.
Yeah, so whatever is the remaining. isn't it?
Remaining.
From the left side. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
He's picking that and passing. And
Uh-huh.
whosoever best score is there, that we are storing here and return list.
So the prefix sum is actually helping you because you just have to look at one index, and that
Index.
that will give the cumulative of the previous ones, because then you are adding it that way, right?
Through complement you will get. I mean, you
But
don't need to calculate together.
how
Yeah,
the
you are
difference is getting the count of stones for Alice? We are returning the difference, right?
I am returning the difference. No, I'm not returning the
Piles
difference.
I minus helper opponent's turn. So we're taking a difference only, like my score and my opponent's score will be negative. But somehow this difference of scores is becoming the result because of the suffix sum. We have to return the maximum number of stones Alice can get, right? Not the difference. But
In
because we
this
took
case.
suffix sum, the difference has become the number of stones somehow.
So now the difference will be always in the difference in the suffix array, prefix array, correct?
I think I was having.
Oh, I
same
think,
issue.
sorry, you are doing a suffix array, not a prefix array, isn't it?
Yeah, from backside we are going suffix
Oh,
array.
it's a suffix array. Okay. So whenever we take a difference in suffix or prefix array, that will be giving you the summation of that subarray, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is what we are looking for. We are looking for continuous ones, no?
Yeah, the consecutive ones. You can't pick like arbitrary one from here, one from other side. I mean, continuous series of ones you have to. I mean, stones you have to pick either, right?
But where are we saying it is player 2 next time who is taking? So up to this point, this is player 1 and then this is the player 2. So that's how DP state, right? At any state, DP represents a index and then the person who is going to pay is that not the state here?
State is like at ith index, what is the number of stones available to you?
But player is not part of the DP, is it?
No, player is not part of the DP. Here we are. This is for your opponent player. This one, and this is your score, and whatever by whichever point you lead, that is this, and your earlier other branches. I mean, had you picked the like, if 2 and 7 is there, if you pick 2, you got some score. If you pick 9, you will get some score.
So every state of DP will decide Alice state every time.
Okay.
So we are always looking as per, sorry?
Yeah, we are looking from Alice's perspective because he's only starting the game first. So that's why we are not mentioning the state for Alice. I mean, for the players, right?
Okay. Okay.
And therefore, he's saying max and in the best on line 16. He's not cumulatively adding anywhere.
So whatever that minus is always the player 2's score, and we are removing that score to see whether we are getting a positive outcome. Then if we are getting a positive outcome, that means we have more score than the opponent score. So we won.
Yeah, because they have told only to take care of Alice, right? The maximum number of stones Alice can get. See, these are all values computed with respect to Alice. So these are the values written by your opponent, and this is what you got the score. And by how much point you lead.
So if best is positive at the end, that means Alice wins, right?
Alice wins, yes.
Okay. So I was confused with this suffix and prefix sum. So what can you just explain in that thing?
So this suffix sum is basically, I think, let's say you, I mean, this ith stone has been picked, right? So out of that score, if you subtract this ith stone, so what will happen? The remaining score will be the cumulative score for the other one, isn't it?
So the last score will be the first will be calculated, and then we keep on adding.
Actually, what he did is that in line number 16, right? In previous problem, he keep on adding, right? if you open the last problem, game number 3, the previous step, yeah. So here in the land number 16, right? He keep on adding the score,
Oh, yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
same thing. He actually this thing is replaced with the cumulative sum array. That's what did here.
Yeah, and also
Instead of-
because good.
Instead of doing every time operation same, he just calculated a cumulative array. So he using that cumulative array because range can be increased from 1 to 2 to the power 2 into m plus 1, right? So that's what it, instead of repeating operation, you're doing the same thing, optimize this thing he's doing here.
Mhm. And for each and every from 1 to 2 raised to m 2m plus 1,
Hmm.
so he has to find the best value. So he's
Yes,
taking the best
yes.
value, whatever is the maximum in that. So
Yeah.
that value is storing at that particular, because you can have lower numbers also in middle.
Here also you can add a one line statement instead of line number 4 and 5. Before line 16, you can evaluate that cumulative sum. And instead of piles I, right? Whatever done, you replace with that sum. That is also work here.
Oh, the score you are telling here.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if you keep on adding the score,
Yes, you are, sir. Sorry.
Then, yeah, right. And then piles, this can be removed, yeah. And remove this, yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, score. I have to look at something else.
Yeah, but
No,
thinking
score you have
player
to, yeah,
as
that
a
is also
state,
fine.
part of the DP state. That is
Can
how
be
I'm.
simpler, yeah.
sorry, what is it?
It can be simpler if we take the player as a part of state.
Because he's always taking. Okay, you're saying that if it is.
Yeah, it is. If it is
Never-
at this index, and this is the player who is playing, and then we already calculated that, then we can just return that. So
How
that's
you
how
are
I'm.
doing in the earlier, the same thing you have to do.
Yeah, maybe you try that and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That is also fine, yeah.
Non-local it is, right?
You can refer your old code also, I think it will work.
Come again?
Go to your old code, that one, stone 3, yeah. How you define there. Score here defined, right? Line number 14, similarly you have to do.
Oh, but every time it will get initialized then, right? That's why I was trying to declare outside the.
Oh, okay, got it.
I don't know. Let's see if it works. Gives a correct result or not. Indentation doesn't match. It gets initialized every time.
Yeah, maybe you can do that later
Yeah.
and post it. But the thing is, the suffix array what you are using, at least that is working, right? In this case.
Remove the score. You're using.
Please remove it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. You want that. Yeah, stone games. The other problems are also not very straightforward.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a very complex series. Only the first and third, I think they are slightly better. Yeah, this one is also.
Working. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
because the trick is in the suffix array, the way you did it,
Suffix
right?
array, right. Suffix
So that is very important actually. But only the thing why I didn't understand why we have to use a suffix, because if you look at the example 1, he was taking a stone from the first pile and the last 2 piles, right? That is what the first statement it says when it's 2 plus 4 plus 4, right? But we are, if you go with a suffix array, you can always have from the back side. So then I didn't understand how we could take the 2 also.
In the second chance, he's taking these 4, 4. In the first chance, is taking only single stone, right? I mean,
How it is 10, 2 plus 4, 4, okay, 10, okay, yeah.
You see,
So I
if you do it that way, Shashank, for the best, if he takes for 1, which is 2, that is fine. Then he should go for 2, which will be 4, 4. No, so he's not adding the best in your case. You are always taking the best of always the whatever remaining.
in the array,
Yeah, the first one it will be 2. You took the best, whatever that was. Then you come for 4, 4. You pick, and then you take that as the best, but you don't add 2, 4, 4. I don't know. Yeah.
Here you are telling, right? Plus, this part you are saying.
Initially, I thought it will be addition, but it is not. And then if you have taken care of everything in the suffix array, then they all should be cumulative. Either they should be 449 or maybe 279. But it is not like that. It is taking from any ends, left and right. So how that suffix array helps, I don't know. I just trying to think loud here.
You are getting
I
from the
think
back.
if we are taking always from left to right, so
Right to left.
right, no, left to right is what we are taking, right?
No, right to left.
No,
Where?
not suffix array.
Okay,
The way
okay,
the
okay.
games are
Right.
game is, yeah.
Left to right, yeah.
But the values are calculated
Opposite.
on right, yeah.
Let's see any other.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the reason they are adding suffix part is so once you add the suffix part and while iterating we already had the prefix added.
Go ahead.
So that would be the total sum if second player does not play. But since second player also plays, this is why in line 20 we are then subtracting the score of the second player.
Yes, yes.
So
True.
so that
This is
would be the total sum minus total sum would be prefix plus suffix, and then you delete whatever the second player chose.
Yeah. Adding the first players and deleting the second players.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if okay, this is recursive one. When I wrote recursive one, there the same thing I have done. I've just added the prefix and suffix part for the current player, and whatever will be subtracted will be the score of the next player. So for Alex it will be Bob, for Bob it will be Alex. So that part will be subtracted, and whatever score we are left with, that would be the score of the current player. And out of all of those combinations, we just need to take the maximum.
So you're saying like the 244 is because the 79 in the middle of for Alex, sorry, Bob, actually they were already subtracted, correct? And therefore you are getting 244. So 79 is already subtracted. So if you have a suffix, prefix sum for all the values, and then if you have the prefix sum of just suffix sum of 79, and you subtract that from this one, right? Then you will get the best of 244, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then it makes sense.
So for this, out of these total 10 are getting subtracted, right, out of the suffix array. So which is this resulting sum
Yeah.
for the?
So out of that 27944, which was the complete one, so we picked 7 and 9 for the other player, which was Bob. And then if we subtract that from 27 plus 9 plus 44, okay, then you get our score for Alex, which is 244.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is okay. This is okay now.
Yeah.
Or either you do the prefix and suffix separately. So at every instance, you will have to, every state you will have to take the prefix and suffix.
Yeah, true.
Even the
prefix,
earlier
we don't
problem
have
can be
to.
solved with this.
Come again?
Even the earlier problem can be solved like this using the suffix sum.
No. I here explicitly I've added the scores and just took the opponent score I subtracted and my score and whosoever is best, storing it in my DPI.
No,
Okay,
he's saying
finally you return
can we do that
memo of
way?
0. Okay.
Oh, can we do? Okay. But there is a limit, like, not sure, I'll have to see.
Yeah, no problem.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm done from my side.
Okay. You want to share? Anyone wants to share any other approach?
I have not solved this problem. I will solve this problem. This
Yeah, I also didn't solve the second
I
one.
saw one in Discuss. I can share from there. I couldn't implement it.
out of 8 problem, I have solved only 3 problem. So I need to solve the rest.